Hello and welcome to my time management class. Today's topic is assess the root issue. I really appreciate you attending. My name is Andrea and I'll be guiding you through today's class. So I'm always curious, how did you hear about today's class and where are you calling in from? If you can, please let me know in the comments. It's always great to see how our community is growing throughout the world. And I appreciate you sharing. So a little bit about myself. I'm calling in from Maryland, which is on the eastern coast of the United States, and I'm a wife and mother of 4. So each day, my family and I, we live with 12 healthy habits in order to enjoy a better quality of life and also to support the success of all that God calls us to do. And because these habits have been so transformative to our lives, I share guidance on how to both implement and stick with each helpful habit, so that we can all live truly thriving lives. So I'll share more about the other videos, workbooks, and classes and support groups that I offer throughout the week. But for now, let's go ahead and jump right into our class. So our goal today is to address and overcome the root issue of our time management struggles. While we're together, we'll reflect on common time management challenges, we'll pinpoint unhelpful habits, embrace effective time management habits, and plan a more workable situation. So when it comes to time management, here's what does not work: overbooking ourselves, lateness, procrastination, and a lack of planning. So let's take some time today to reflect on each of these habits, to consider the root issues, and plan some more effective habits that we can embrace instead. All right, overbooking ourselves. Overbooking ourselves backfires because we need more time than we thought. And it leads to burnout and also to just doing a lot of things, unfortunately, poorly. So the emotional root is admirable, that we have a lot of big dreams and we want to accomplish really great things. The administrative root tends to be that maybe our estimates are off, or we understate the full scope of what needs to be done, and we estimate how long things will take. And then we can address this though. We can address the root issue by considering the layers of subtasks within each task, keeping in mind that there's always more that needs to be done than we think, which means we got to schedule a little more time than we thought. So then more effective habits to embrace are scheduling less tasks each day. I know it's hard to do, but less tasks in a day, and then leaving extra space between each task. That way we can have ample time to accomplish our dreams. All right, lateness. Lateness happens because things don't usually happen the way that we thought they were supposed to, and it leads to unnecessary fees and to pressure and disapproval from others. But the full impact of lateness is that we miss out on the benefits that we would have had and could have had if we had been punctual. Losing people's confidence and also maybe even straining relationships. So the emotional root to lateness can be that maybe we just didn't really want to do it in the first place. Maybe we were just trying to be nice or trying to be accommodating. And this seems like a good thing. It's what I call a unhelpful good habit. Because no matter how good it might seem to be accommodating, the drudgery for you and then also the disappointment from them isn't really helpful anymore. So it's an unhelpful good habit. Another emotional root to lateness could be that we're just so excited about it. It could also be that we didn't stop our previous tasks because of perfectionism. We just wanted to get everything perfect, but in doing so, we kind of sabotage the thing. Or it could be a combination of all these things. The administrative root tends to be that we scheduled an undesirable schedule for ourselves, that we didn't set a limit to our prep time. We got to limit that. Or that maybe we went over our preparation time, even if we did set a time for it, maybe we went over it. So we can address the root issue by being honest with ourselves and by respecting our own time. We can let our excitement that is there be inspiration to get started early. And we can also embrace that good enough is better than being late. So we can address the root issue by being honest with ourselves and by respecting our own time. We can let our excitement be inspiration to get started early. And we can also embrace that good enough is better than being late. Some more effective habits to embrace for lateness is to decline undesired tasks, to set an earlier deadline by which preparations need to conclude, and to conclude all tasks by that deadline so that you can be on time. That way you can be fully reliable, you can be early, and you can enjoy the task fully. Okay, so procrastination. This doesn't work because a task must be thrown together under a stressful situation, which is limiting, and it doesn't usually work out so well. This usually leads to poor quality results when we procrastinate. We don't want to just do a rush job. So the emotional root of procrastination is often that we just don't feel like doing it. We just don't want to do it. Or maybe we just feel overwhelmed by the task. It just seems like there's just so many moving parts and we don't want to just dive right in. So the administrative route tends to be that, again, we maybe scheduled ourselves for an undesirable schedule. Maybe we've scheduled something that we just don't want to do or don't know how to do. It could be that we don't know how to do it. Maybe we're just waiting to feel inspired. And that's one of those unhelpful good habits, because there's nothing inspiring about that last minute crunch. Or maybe it could be that maybe we're just lacking confidence about the whole process or the whole project. So we can address the root issue by being honest with ourselves and respecting our own time. We can remember that our capabilities, they don't limit us. That it's just our willingness and our time. We can always do the research and we can always learn. We have to be realistic about what we're willing to do and be realistic about how much time we really have. And also just to be confident that with the right amount of time and with the right amount of willingness, that we can do anything. So more effective habits to embrace are scheduling tasks that we fully desire, only committing ourselves to things that we have time to do and are willing to do, and staying confident in our abilities. That way we can carefully work on tasks with an ample amount of time, with options and clarity, and enjoy great results. Then there is a lack of planning. So this doesn't work because we're not able to make the most of the time that we have. It leads to missed opportunities when we don't plan. And the emotional root is usually just a desire to be spontaneous. The administrative route to a lack of planning tends to be that we just didn't find it necessary to plan in much detail, thinking that it'll all come together, but instead it all falls apart. So we can address the root issue here by having a regular routine, by scheduling a good specific time for each task, and then planning each day the night before, at least the night before. Really, the week before is better. So more effective habits to embrace here are similar to the ones to combat overbooking lateness and procrastination. So we want to schedule less tasks each day. We want to make sure that we are setting an earlier deadline to conclude everything by. We want to make sure that we are only scheduling tasks that we fully desire. That's a big one. And then only scheduling things that we have time to do and are willing to do. That way we can use our time wisely and make the most of every opportunity. So you may have noticed earlier that I said that my family and we live with 12 healthy habits in order to enjoy a better quality of life. So then time management is just one of the 12. We embrace these healthy habits because we want to make sure that there's less bad habits to sabotage our efforts to obey God and more good habits in order to support our success as we live to do all that Yahweh has called us to do. So for time management, as well as all of these healthy habits, I offer guidance via workbooks and videos, support group, and classes, obviously, to be able to help you implement and stick with each habit. So if you could use more guidance on this topic or with the other 12 healthy habits, I'm here to guide you. You can find out more details about all this on my website, which is trulythrivinglives.org. All right, so I'd love to know, how did you enjoy today's class and what questions do you have for me? You can let me know in the comments below, or if you'd like, you can always just save your questions for support group, or you can save them for coaching. Either way, I look forward to supporting you along your journey. All right, thank you again for attending. Have a blessed day.